Hey friends, here I am at the end of day 5 at the Intermountain Suzuki String Institute. And I do mean the end. It is after 10 o'clock. I don't know exactly what time. I'm going to hopefully be able to go to sleep without looking at my phone for the time so that I can not think about it. But but this was the last big day. Tomorrow's a half day. Couple classes in the morning and then a concert that we watch. Nothing more to gear up for. So in some ways we made it. We did it. She did it. My daughter did it. I'm out here. If you haven't caught the first 4 days, I encourage you to go check out what the first 4 days of ISSI are all about. Or a little bit about the whole experience, but the 5th day, it was a big one, and it's in a lot of ways what a couple things showed up for me today. One was, and this is a tricky one, both in terms of how I feel about it, but it's tricky to digest and it's tricky to articulate. I'll try to explain what I mean. There's something about music, and there's something about musical excellence. A deep study of music that is akin to training for an athletic competition, or at least an athletic activity. In that, there's a kind of endurance of focus that the practice requires, and that an event like this, of basically 5 days, I heard somebody else say it today, and I was like, yes, that's exactly what this feels like to me. I've been thinking this for the last few days. It feels like being in college. It feels like a college schedule. It feels like every single minute of the day is filled with either class time. You're either preparing for class, you're in class, or you're recapping and preparing for tomorrow's class. There is no moment to spare. Every single, maybe you're cramming in some time in there for to get nourishment in your body, but full on accelerator to the floor kind of time. And and I'm a grown man. I'm an adult. And the intensity of what we are doing does not weigh on me as the parent who's essentially a chaperone. I mean, it's more than that. You can't call it that. I'm as intensely present in every class as my daughter is. But it's not like I'm the participant being pushed to my limit all day, every day. I'm stewarding that experience for someone else. So what that feels like to a 5-year-old to be in this schedule and to be so just in the pressure cooker of an environment like this, it's really hard for me to it's really hard for me to know what that's like, other than that I'm watching it. And I mean, she's been a champion. She's just a little champion as a 5-year-old navigating this, and all the kids are bigger than she is, and she's aware of that. So it's been quite something to watch. But what, back to sort of my point, there's something about the music. There's something about making music and learning music and studying music and practicing music and ultimately playing and performing music that calls upon that level of discipline and endurance, self-control, self-awareness. and and it's hard to, you know, an event like this is hard to duplicate. It is what it is. It's a remarkably valuable experience from that point of view. I think this lesson was especially coming home to me sometime around when the final concert we were watching today, which I thought was going to be an hour long, started to approach the 2 hour mark. That's when I was like, oh, this is an endurance test. That's what's going on here. and in a lot of ways, you know, I'm aware of this from all of my experiences as a parent. What I'm doing with the experience, whatever's happening to me, whatever I'm choosing to feel and think about the experience, is what is being piped right into her psyche. I mean, it might as well just be like a big old pump attached to everything I'm experiencing, and just a pipe connected to her, or it's just being shared like it's one flow system. So I was aware of that today, and I was very you know, I was a little annoyed at the organizers for yesterday, because as I explained in my video yesterday, there was a moment when there was just a very poorly stage managed concert that involved 5-year-old kids and up, but it involved Annalise having to put their instrument on one side of the stage and then walk over to another part to sing in a choir, and then find their way back to their instrument in utter chaos, and then file out and find their parent again without having really been instructed where to go to do that. And I made a mistake. I followed her out the door, the backstage door, instead of just staying in the theater, which if I'd done that, we probably would have been fine, but I didn't know that. There were no instructions, and it was all a bit chaotic. So she ended up losing track of me and getting really afraid. And then today she wasn't so sure she wanted to go on that stage again, because the last time she got on that stage, she lost track of her father. And I got annoyed because I felt like that was preventable. All somebody needed to do was step up to the front of the stage with a microphone and tell people what to do. Give simple instructions about how these 300 kids were going to get on and off stage and what to do when. She wasn't even told when to go pick up her instrument in the middle of the concert. I had to run to the front of the stage and tell her, hey, you need to run over and get your violin. I shouldn't have had to do that. Somebody else should have been doing that. So, but as I started to have that emotion rise up in me, I thought, you know, this might even be justified. But if I allow myself to experience resentment about this and to get all worked up about the fact that she had this negative experience and that now she has this fear in her, that's what I was really most mad about. I was like, well, now you've just delivered an experience that has caused her fear associated with performing, that has nothing to do with the performance itself. It just has to do with the security of, will she be able to find her father again afterwards? I was mad about that. But I realized, you know, the more I indulge that anger in myself, the more I'm inflating the significance of the experience for her. And instead, what if I just breathe, acknowledge my own mistake, because I did make a mistake in the midst of all that. If I had been a little more patient and a little more trusting, I probably would have just stayed put. She would have come and found me, and it would have been okay. I could acknowledge that, and then really just acknowledge what it meant for her. And, you know, we had this beautiful moment today where another girl who's just about a year older than Annalise, this was after the concert today, was running around, couldn't find her mom. This girl was a little more self-possessed. She's a year older, and the chaos wasn't quite as bad. But she found us. We were walking out of the auditorium. She was coming the other way down the kind of middle aisle, and she said, hey, I can't find my mom. And I said, oh, that's okay, Rosie. Hang on just a second. Stay with us. And I said, see, Annalise, this happens to other people too. Give us a little moment to model that this experience is scary, yes. Not what you want, yes. Definitely, do we take steps to avoid it? Yes. And it's not the end of the world. Nobody's going to leave. Nobody's leaving their kid. And this girl also found her mom much quicker. Like we waited with her. I was kind of looking around, and I saw her up the aisle, and sure enough, she saw her, and it was all fine. But it was almost like we were given that moment to help process our own experience of that, and to kind of normalize it in a way. And so all of that has been very, very present for me, very powerfully present today. And there was something, there was another element at play today, which is that it is the solstice. Happy solstice, everyone. It's the 21st of June today. And a full moon. It's a full moon on the solstice. And that's a powerful energetic alignment. Sadhguru talks about what's happening to you on a full moon, whatever's being enhanced when that energy starts to pull and inflate and expand everything that's going on in us. Whatever we are feeling, whatever we allow ourselves to feel, whatever we do to ourselves is what we're going to cultivate, is what we're going to enhance in ourselves. And so I was thinking that too. I felt that tug as well. I was like, oh, well, I really kind of want to breathe through this, and I really want to make sure that the seeds that I plant today are seeds that I actually want to grow. So all of that was going on right as we were kind of culminating this event. And like I said, we have another day tomorrow, but it's a half day, and it's a light day. I mean, comparatively, it's gonna feel like nothing. It's gonna feel like we get up, we have breakfast, and then we're done. So, but I'm still integrating this whole week, and I think it's going to take both of us some time. But have we ever learned a lot? And I don't know that I've ever seen as much enthusiasm for practicing and for the kind of self-motivated, I want to do this because I want to do it. I want to get better at this, coming from my daughter. It's remarkable. And she also asked me at the end of today, she said, I'm going to miss here. This is Annalise's thing. When something's about to be over, or when it is just over, I'm going to miss here. I miss here. I miss yesterday. I miss right now. She said, I'm going to miss here. She said, will you bring me back here sometime? I said, yes, honey. Oh, yes. I think we're going to make this an annual event. Because this was, at least for a little while, this was quite something. And the cool thing about the concert today, even though it took 2 hours, was by the end, we were listening to the book 9, 10, 11 violinists. I mean, they were something else. 10 or 12 kids at a time playing the concerto part for a violin concerto. Really good intonation. I mean, perfect articulation. Just like playing the solo part as a section. Really cool. So we've had some fantastic musical experiences, and I think, back to my original point, or my original insight for the day, we've really steeped ourselves in something. We have deeply, deeply drunk from the well. And I'm super grateful for that. And I know it's gonna make a big difference as we go forward. I know that intense moments like this, intense periods like this, they're deeply formative, and they unlock things that, they start to unlock things that maybe you see the fruits of that in a month or 2 or 6 months, but some really powerful things have happened this week, and it's very cool to have been part of. So I'll tell you all about day 6 tomorrow, but the last full day was quite something, and now we head into the solstice full moon energy of the summer. My God. Remarkable. That's where I am today, folks. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you soon.